What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Awesome Nerd Show. Today we got something special. We have the new Spawn Kickstarter action figures. So we did back the Todd McFarlane Kickstarter for his Spawn figure, and we did do all three. So we have all three versions of the Spawn figure. We did like the whole package thing. So here we have the box that they came in. Nice looking box, all black. This is just the regular Spawn, so it has the red Spawn logo on it. But just a nice all black box, has Spawn there on the side. Pretty much nothing on the back. I think on the bottom, yeah, it's kind of hard to see. There is like a Spawn logo. Same for there on the top as well. So just has this nice slip cover, so let me get this off. And then we have the actual box here, and you can see it has the Spawn logo there on the front of it again. Nice black box again all the way around. And I like how they color code them. So the red is like for the original classic Spawn. There's a green, and then there's gray. So again, this is the original one, so it has a nice red tag here, so you know what colors are what. So we can open it up, and we have some stuff inside. So there is a foam covering here, and then we get some paperwork. So we have a certificate of authenticity type thing there from Todd McFarlane, which is awesome. We get a little checklist showing how the original Spawn figure from 1994 compared to this brand new one and all the new stuff it comes with, so that's cool. Then we have, of course, the foam cover there, keeping the stuff inside the box. So here we've got the figure, you can see me there, but here we got the figure, and it looks awesome there, of course, in the all classic colors there of the red, white, and black. Looks awesome there. Then from the box, you see it says Spawn posable action figure from record-breaking comic, of course, the Spawn comic #1. Flying cape, has swing open action, and then at the top, we have additional accessories up here. So we have this little nameplate piece here that Todd McFarlane signed himself with a nice gold Sharpie and everything. Then it has a bunch of other little accessories in here. So we have an unmasked head. So we have this unmasked head that has his whole burn up head, and he's screaming there. We get this little hook weapon, looks like a piece of wood with a hook on it, then a bunch of nails sticking out, so an awesome weapon. We get a little necroplasm effect of a knife, and then some electricity or stuff. And then there was also this sword hidden down in there, which looks awesome. That just looks cool with the giant skull and the green details on it. Just a giant blade. Has the Spawn logo there on the top of it, so that is just awesome. And that leaves us with our figure itself, so we can pull this out. So here we have the figure in like a classic case like they came out originally, so that just looks awesome. You can see the figure much better there. He comes with some additional accessories itself down in the bottom here, which we'll of course look at, and then it comes with the Spawn #1 comic there in the back. And what's awesome about this, you know, in the past with these, you'd have to like cut the whole stuff out and be a pain in the butt. Well, they actually have it clamshelled, so you can just pop it open to be able to get in and get your figures out, so that'll be an easy way. So we can pull it out and look at it, and then we can just pop it back in, so we have it, you know, nice encased and everything, so that's awesome. And then just to show off the other, so here we have the grayscale one, so you can see it just all completely in grayscale, comes with a comic in the grayscale as well. Of course, we'll look at all this, and then it comes with the weapons and everything as well, other accessories that there are in the grayscale, also the sword, the little hook thing, and the additional head there screaming. And finally, we have what I call the modern day Spawn. So it looks almost identical to the original, but of course, when we have them out of package, I'll show you both of them so you can see the difference, but it just has a little bit of changes. But this one has an unmasked head with like shoelace design or something, kind of holding his face together. Comes with different weapons and accessories, and then the actual box itself accessories, he came with this awesome looking gun, so a bunch of different awesome parts to it and everything, and the normal face for Al Simmons there, so that's awesome as well. So I'm excited to get these open. They're all going to be exactly the same figure, just different looks to it. So we'll look at the posability and stuff on the first one, and then just show it compared to the others. So let me go ahead and get all these open, and we'll check them out, and hopefully these are awesome. So here I have the classic Spawn out of the box, and this thing just looks awesome. So it looks really cool, but there are some limitations and some issues with it. I do feel with Todd, he probably wanted to make a statue more than anything, so I feel this is pretty much a statue that had joints cut into it to allow for movements, because it just does seem pretty statuesque to me. It just has some limitations and movements. It doesn't seem like a full range figure, but it does look awesome though. So it has this awesome cape on the back, of course the Spawn outfit with the all black body, white mask there on the face, red and white outfit on in the center, so you can see he's got like red underwear, some red gloves with white at the top of them, some bands there around his legs and up on his arm, and then you can see around at his waist he's got a skull with some chains hanging out, and these are actually some heavy like metal chains, which is awesome. Same for there around the neck as well. But this figure just looks awesome. But if you're like me, you probably don't know a whole lot about Spawn. I have seen like the Spawn movie from like the 90s or whatever, but Spawn was created by Todd McFarlane, as we know, back in 1992. But his real name is Al Simmons, and he was in the military, and he ended up being killed by one of his friends that was hired as the hitman. And so Spawn died and ended up going to hell, since he himself was like a hitman and an assassin. So since he killed so many people, he got sent to hell. But he wanted to go back to Earth to be able to see his wife, so he made a deal with the devil to become the Hell Spawn, and so he returned back to Earth. But unfortunately, he returned with disgusting burnt skin, so like we get this additional head with the figure. So unfortunately, he returns as that, and he has some limited memories, so he doesn't have all the knowledge of his original human self. So it's kind of a cursed return to Earth. But like I said, this figure looks awesome though, so that's one thing I have to say. Like, the figure looks awesome. Now, I don't know, like, looking at these figures price wise and everything, if it was worth it for the Kickstarter to pay so much for all these figures. I do think they look awesome. The boxes and everything they just come with are completely awesome. It's just hard to tell, you know, if whether it's worth the price, and currently I don't even remember exactly what we paid, but it does look awesome is all I can really say though. But we are going to look at the movements on this figure. They are pretty much all exactly the same figure, so we don't have to look at the movements at all of them. But like I said, this is the classic Spawn, so it has more of that classic design to it, which is awesome. But for the movements, we do have some head movements, so you can see a little bit of a neck joint right down in here. So it does allow for some tilting, like side to side movements, and it does kind of get stuck and for rocking forward, back and forth. But also up in the neck, which is going to be hard, it does have some additional movements up in the neck part too, so you can get his head to twist around and everything. And of course, it's hard to get it to line up and everything with all the lines and everything going into the neck. It's hard to get it to line up. You just have to kind of get it in place and then adjust it around to get it how you want it. If we go to shoulders, we do have some movements in the shoulders, so shoulders can come up a little bit. Of course, it has a giant cape covering up, so you don't get a whole lot of range there, but it can raise up and down a little bit and twist back and forth some. We do have sort of like a bicep twist up in here. It doesn't really do much. It can twist around, as you can see it moving there. We do have a single elbow joint there that allows the elbow to bend up probably just about 90 degrees. Just that far there. We get the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth. No ab crunch or anything in this figure, but he does have a little bit of a crunching movement right at his waist there, so it can rock back and forth and some twisting side to side. The hips do raise up a little bit there, so we get some movement, so you can of course kind of force them since it does have that underwear piece like all the other ones, so you can kind of get it forced up there, allow some movements, and it has the split joints there, so you can get them to do the splits. Then we've got a double knee joint down here, which of course the cape's in the way and fighting with me, but you can get it to bend up at least that far in the back, which is pretty decent. Looks like we also have a shin twist. I didn't realize that there. So shin twist right under this red band here can twist, but then the ankle itself can twist around in there. And then the foot has the toe joints on the end, so it can flip back and forth there. But standing wise, not nearly as hard as a lot of the other McFarlanes are, but it also probably helps that his cape's in the back here, so it kind of touches the ground. So it sits right on it, so it helps keep him standing up. And speaking of the cape does have some movements as well. So we do have these additional joints here. So there's one there and then one right down there as well, which allow for some movement back and forth, so you can get it pulled into him if you want it. So it's like he's maybe standing up on a building. I'm always afraid I'm going to break these, but you can kind of get it wrapped around him, or you can kind of spread them out a little bit. So it's like he's big open cape there swinging around almost like a Batman cape or something. But I just think that looks awesome. And then we get a lot of accessories for him. So I've already shown some of them to you, but like first we get a little base for him. So we have, says Spawn there from 1994 to 2001. So 1994 was when the very first figure came out. And I like how Todd even put record setting action figure for this, but it's a nice little base, you know, just like the other ones we got. So we'll go and pop him on that, so it makes him even easier to stand. So we'll do the accessories that came with first. So of course it came with that base. We get some additional hands. So here we have two like trigger finger hands. You can see they have the pointer finger sort of sticking out, so they can be like trigger finger hands. But it also comes with more like fist style hands, but also have the holes in it so it can hold different weapons. And then he comes with this rifle gun, which looks awesome. Has all sorts of accessories on it, a bunch of different scopes. It looks like it has a little grenade launcher there on the bottom, a little saw blade on the front so you can chop people up. So that just looks awesome as well. And then we get the additional accessories that were kind of like the bonus add-ons or whatever for the Kickstarter being so successful. So we got that additional burn style head there that of course I already showed you. We get that little wooden hook weapon, so it has the hook on there, and then it's just like a piece of wood with all sorts of nails and stuff sticking out of it. What's really cool is though he comes with this sword, which that looks awesome, that we've already seen. So a big skull there right on the hilt, got a nice handle with a ball, and then I like the green details added onto it. The nice lime green sticks out a lot, and of course the little Spawn logo right there on the tip of the sword. So nice big old broad sword here. And what's nice about the swords is with it, since it has the big ball, the balls do pop off. So the ball just pops right off the bottom, and you can see it has exposed there, so you can easily slide it down into the hand, then pop the ball right back on the bottom, and he'll have the sword sitting in his hand. And finally it came with some necroplasm weapons, so we get a necroplasm little sword here, and then a necroplasm lightning effect or something here, which you can also put onto the hands. So let me go and switch out some of the hands and put some weapons in. So there I put the sword in his hand and some of the necroplasm shooting out there because I thought that'd be cool, and I think that looks awesome. So again, this figure looks incredible. Like I can't complain anything about the looks of it. It is absolutely incredible. So this would be an awesome, nice display piece, and especially with the others we're going to look at, would just be awesome. But of course we want to keep them in nice, good condition, so we're probably just going to put them back in the boxes for now. But that just looks incredible for a figure. And then we have the grayscale version, and this is an exact replica of the other one, so it's just the same figure in grayscale this time, so there's nothing going to be different at all about this. So they're just getting a little bit closer up. You can see all the details, which is an awesome part about grayscale. Just seeing all the lines and details and textures they put into figures and stuff. You can really see it there on the cape, like you can see there on the face, going down his body with all like the muscle pieces and stuff. It just looks awesome in the grayscale. But other than that, like there's nothing special to it just besides being in grayscale. Like I said, it is the exact same figure. figure, so there's nothing too crazy like to look at there. It's just the exact same figure. So he comes with all the exact same accessories. One thing that's different is the base, so he has the same base, but this time even the base is in grayscale, so that is cool. But he comes with the same screaming head, so with the burnt head and stuff, which looks awesome. Again, you can really see all those details with this model. We get all the same additional hands, so all the fist hands and trigger finger hands and all that fun stuff. We get the little club weapon with the hook. We get the sword, but again, all in grayscale, and we already have the fist on that one, which is cool. And then he comes with the necroplasm as well, so we get the necroplasm dagger, and then he comes with this necroplasm effect, which is just like a little ball effect. And this one just kind of like stick onto his hands. So you just kind of fit it in his hand with like the fingers there, so it just kind of sticks in his hand like that, which is, I guess, kind of cool. Again, just a part of his powers. So not a whole lot to look at since it is pretty much the exact same figure, but it does look awesome in that grayscale. And then we have the more modern style Spawn, which looks really awesome here. So it looks almost like the original, just with a little bit of few tweaks, and it does have like the unmasked head, so you can see where it also has like the string holding his head together and everything, which looks really cool. So that is awesome. But otherwise, the body looks, you know, relatively the same. It is different in some ways, so we'll go ahead and pull that other one up here, so hopefully we can see some of the differences here. With the newer style, it doesn't have the red on the inside, it's mostly all black. And then the new one has this giant gauntlet on his arm, so this giant protector with some spikes and stuff on it, and then also has this giant like club foot thing, but as you can see his foot there, but this giant like club piece with the spikes on it as well. But other than that, they are pretty much exactly the same, just a little bit of color changes and then adding those extra armor pieces, but otherwise it's still the exact same figure as the original. And actual figure wise, it is pretty much exact same. No real different movements. Obviously we're gonna have a little bit of different pieces down here with the club foot, and then right around in the arm there with that piece, but other than that, it is the exact same, has the exact same movements, so nothing different to really look at on there. I do like that head change though, because I like the unmasked there with the shoelace design, and it's just going there holding his whole head together like he's been chopped down the center, so that just looks awesome. So I think whichever one you prefer, whether you like this newer one or the classic style, you can't really go wrong with either one, because like I said, they do look almost exactly the same. But he does come with different accessories as well, so we do have an unmasked head, just normal human looking face, so that is awesome. He does come with that. He has the exact same hands, but they're all black this time instead of red. We still get the claw club weapon there, which is not too bad. We do get a different looking gun, so this gun has a lot more stuff to it. So it has like a little rocket launcher on the top, grenade launcher on the bottom, of course a nice rifle there in the center. Just looks awesome in the nice color with the gold and everything. That just looks really cool. And finally, he comes with the necroplasm as well, so we get the necroplasm sword, and then this little effect that it can go on like a fist or something there, just a little spear thing that he could be using, which looks cool also. And I also did want to show this Spawn. So this is the McFarlane Spawn for more the Mortal Kombat games, so this is again based more off like the newer Spawn style and everything. So you can see there it is, a lot of similarities between the two. Obviously this one has the unmasked head there, but the outfits are relatively the same except for like the V there on his center. It's a little bit different design, but still has the armor pieces on there. The leg armor is kind of switched out, which is kind of weird, but otherwise they still look very similar. So again, with the brand new style and then the more modern style of Spawn there, so they look very similar. So there are 3 Spawn figures from the McFarlane Kickstarter, and again, all 3 great looking figures. I have no real complaints. Like I said, price wise they may not have been worth it as much, but the looks and everything and the figures just look beautiful, so I have no real complaints there. And I did also want to show just real quickly, so it's going to be hard to get them to fit in the screen here. So here we have the Spawn #1, and it's supposed to be like a remake of the Spawn #1 comic, which you can take out the plastic, it just slips right out the top. So it's awesome that he made it where you can take everything out and look at it and explore stuff, but also put it all back together into the box, so that's awesome. So we have Spawn #1, which goes with the classic, again with that classic look of Spawn. We have the grayscale one there, so that looks awesome. They're just all black and white, which is awesome for comics a lot. And then we have that same comic, but for the more modern Spawn there with that artwork and design with the green around it and stuff. Just looks incredible, so I did want to show those comic covers. And then we can throw our little Todd McFarlane little signature piece display there as well. So that is it for this Spawn McFarlane Kickstarter. I think they're incredible, but let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments. Did you pick these up for yourself, or were you interested in these at all? Just let me know what you thought of the opinions of these down in the comments. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I will see you in our next review.